What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Shonen Express weekly Shonen Jump newsletter. This week we have issue 52, which is, I guess, technically the final issue for this year. I don't exactly know how that works because obviously we have other issues coming out this, in 2020 yet. But hey, what do I know? That's just, it's issue 52. So here we are. So yeah, hey, a lot of exciting stuff in this issue. Really a lot of heartwarming stories in this issue, I think I found, but also a lot of really cool things going on. So definitely, let's just get into it. So first of all, the cover this week went to Jujutsu Kiasen. Definitely a manga that deserves the cover. Super popular in obviously in Japan with the anime coming out right now. Amazingly popular, pretty much everywhere. And this chapter was really good. I mean, the fight between Mahito and Itadori was insane. I mean, some of the moves they were making, I had to reread the chapter several times. The look of these moves was incredible, and they definitely, yeah, I mean, it was just cool. I like the color page too, more detail on Mahito's new form. That was really cool. Obviously, Mahito is way stronger than he ever was, and I'm really excited to see what that final lineup, that final charge up punch by Itadori is gonna do. I'm excited to see next week. So yeah, all in all, I'm just excited to see next week. Definitely a good cover manga this week in Jujutsu Kaisen. But we didn't have anything new in the magazine this week. We also didn't have anything end in the magazine this week. This is getting kind of ominous. I expected at least something to go. I mean, we have a ton of manga running in the magazine right now. And so I expected something to be on the chopping block, but nothing this week. So there we have it. And there was also no specials this week. No one-shots, no specials. So it was a pretty average week as regards Weekly Shonen Jump. But let's get into my top 5 this week. So coming in this week at number 5 is Chainsaw Man. Now, I don't actually have a whole ton to say about Chainsaw Man other than this was an extremely impactful chapter for this manga. I don't quite understand what Makima's ability is. She was kind of able to replace herself with those other clones and, other characters. So I don't really know what her ability actually is, but it is cool. It was a cool fight to see her versus Denji was really cool. And then when she rips out I assume his heart, or it's Pochita, it's the little dog from the beginning of the series, and that's still in there. And I thought that was cool. And obviously she rips it all the way out, making it appear as if Denji is gonna die. I'm nearly positive Denji will not die, so I'm not really worried about that. But this was a cool chapter. The development in the story is really cool, and if we really are getting close to the end of Chainsaw Man here, that's something to consider, and definitely something this may be one of the final fights. So it was a cool fight for sure. It definitely deserves my number 5 spot. Number 4 this week, I have Mashel, Magic and Muscles. I'm beginning to actually like this manga. So this chapter, we got introduced to the Divine Visionaries. First of all, I want to mention the little funny comment on the first page of the manga where Mash kind of looks at the tribunal there, and he's like, okay, so we're done here. That was funny. But when the other Divine Visionaries show up, I like the shot of all of them together. They look like a cool group. And then we get to know a little bit about each of what they do, and I really like that. I love seeing things like that. I love organization and structure in the organizations that I see in shonen manga, and this is definitely one of those cases. I really liked seeing that, and so it's just something that to me was really cool and something that I liked. And I love at the tying that parasite or magia parasite or whatever in a balloon animal dog was kind of funny. And at the end where Mash just sticks his feet in the ground and says you can't move me now, that was really cool. I can't wait to see next week's chapter and see how what goes down. Are the Divine Visionaries going to be able to pull him out? My guess is no, but it does leave me in suspense, and so I definitely like this chapter, and it deserved my number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3 this week is Undead Unluck. So probably none of you are surprised. Undead Unluck has been super, on the top of my list for a while now. But this chapter was amazing again. I mean, we got to see Fuko kind of go with Andy. I loved Andy's quote about like pouring out the beers for the comrades for that lady, and he's like, "I just want to watch her suffer. Or, I just want her to suffer." And like that's not true, and Fuko knows that's not true. I just love that. I love seeing him go through that little montage page that we see. That was really cool to see him and Fuko kind of go through a bunch of stuff from his past, and their talk about like when does a person die reminded me of, there's several other anime that have, a conversation like this, but like, even Dr. Hiroluke from One Piece, a man dies when he's not remembered, or, I like that moral. I like the feeling there, and it was really cool. It was a really cool end and a really touching chapter for Undead Unluck. Once again, right in a row there, 2 in a row. Obviously, last week was my number 1, but 2 great chapters for Undead Unluck. But moving on, number 2 this week was One Piece, and it definitely deserved it. I thought the stuff with Sanji in the beginning of the chapter, him getting trapped, was funny. I liked how he, got trapped by the people. Black Maria, I thought, or Maria, however you say her name, it makes a lot of sense that Sanji would be stuck there for a little bit. It kind of seems like his thing. So that made sense, and I like that. I really love the stuff with Zoro this chapter. First of all, we see that arm fall from the ceiling, and Kiku's arm, and how it affected Zoro, and that was really cool to see. And then like I thought for a minute there Zoro displayed Conqueror's Haki. I was amazed. I was like, oh my word, does he have Conqueror's Haki? But no, that's not true. The island was just moving. But I like the seriousness with which he addressed that. And then he just cuts down Apu in an instant, takes back the antidote and gives it to Chopper right away to have all this start, have all the healing start from these Ice Oni disease. It was really cool. It was a really great time to be a Zoro fan. Then just to see him messing up down here. He's taking care of business down here. I like that. And obviously, at the end of the chapter where we see Kaido is literally lifted up the island of Onigashima and is about to bring it to Wano and crash it down in the flower capital. That was insane. I thought it was figurative. I, along with probably a lot of the community, thought that when he said he was going to move Onigashima, that he didn't mean physically move it, but obviously now we see that he did mean physically move it. So, huge chapter for that. So I think we are nearing the end game of Act 1, or Act 3, rather, of Wano. So I'm excited for that, and it's definitely deserved my number 2 spot. And the number 1 spot, which if you read this chapter, no doubt for me, is My Hero Academia. This chapter was amazing. I can barely contain my excitement, but we'll take it one step at a time. First of all, I love the stuff with Best Jeanist. As I said last time, I think 2 weeks ago, the last time we had a My Hero Academia chapter, I like that Best Jeanist is back. I always kind of liked his design, and who he was, and so I like that he was back. I like that he was, back in action. That was really cool for me. I loved seeing him. I loved seeing him be able to use that cloth that he brought with him. He airdropped down to tie up Gigantomachia. I loved that. I thought it was really cool that he could restrain him, and it's really just about how much cloth someone has, whether he's able to control, really pin him down or not. But that was really cool. Obviously, it was super cool that when Shigaraki gives the order to Gigantomachia to move, and it really revs him up, and he starts pulling away. That was obviously cool. Najire Hado got destroyed by Dabi. That was insane. She got burned up. I'm not sure if she's dead or what, but that definitely was not normal. She got messed up. And of course, the biggest thing to happen in My Hero Academia in so long, at least for me, is we finally got to see it. Lemillion is back. We got to see he comes up out of the ground with that same half of his face up out of the ground, and starts saying the word power, and then finishes it by taking out those 4 Nomu that are coming for Best Jeanist. That was amazing. Oh my word, it's amazing. I'm just so glad he's back. I'm so glad he has his powers back. I was legitimately worried. Lemillion is my favorite character in My Hero Academia, if you couldn't tell. I was legitimately starting to get worried that we weren't going to see Lemillion get his powers back. And just as I, had thought that, here he is in the fight, ready to save the day. I love this. This was amazing. I literally flipped out when I read it. I yelled in my apartment when I read it. It was so cool. I'm such a big fan of Lemillion, and My Hero Academia has to get the #1 spot for me this week. No questions asked, for sure. So yeah, that's my top 5 this week. Other highlights, I just, kind of want to mention other things. Sakamoto Days was pretty fun. It's pretty fun this week. Black Clover was really good this week. Definitely check it out. Just because it didn't make my top 5 doesn't mean it wasn't amazing. Build King, another amazing chapter. I really have high hopes for that. Dr. Stone, really good chapter this week. Mission Yozakura Family had some more story building stuff, so that was good. Our Blood Oath was a cool chapter this week, and Phantom Seer, as I always say, I like Phantom Seer, so that was really cool this week too. But I actually don't have any news for you. Nothing that I saw this week was really noteworthy of having any news, so I don't actually have any for you this week, and so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have anything to say, leave it down in the comment section. I'd love to talk with you about it, and like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I bring you these weekly newsletters every single week, along with other videos, kind of interspersed in between. I am working on my review of Hikaru no Go. So that should be out maybe this week or next week, sometime like that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of that. And until next time, this is Shonen Express, signing off.